It was all the talk ahead of the 2014 season. The assertion that the turbo era and the rule limiting fuel to 100 kilograms per race would bring Formula One to its knees, leaving car after car stranded with an empty tank. In the end, it was just hot air, as they're still driving and nobody got caught out. Though, hand on heart, it did get close here and there.
In Hockenheim was a very good example. You have to save a lot during a race. And saving means that you have to plan your race strategy from lap 1, and by then you know how much fuel you need. You have to plan it in a way that you don't run short before the checker flag. With the systems we are carrying today in all cars, it's very easy to monitor how the fuel consumption is evolving. Ultimately, it's down to the driver that make a job good enough to actually carry the car to the finish line. The price you pay for it is that you have to drive slower, obviously.
Slower, but saving fuel. A good driver finds the balance and doesn't necessarily have to lose places in doing so. The most common method, what they call lift and coast. The useful trick for saving fuel, especially on circuits with long straights. But we'll let the experts explain this phenomenon.
What lift and coast is it's literally not staying full gas until the braking point. You have to lift quite far before, so it can be from 20 meters to 70 meters before the corner. Now there are points, optimal points around the track for which it's most useful. When you're driving down the straight, your normal braking point, say for example, is at 100 meters. So normally on a qualifying lap, you're full gas, you're braking around 190 meters into the next corner. So straight away you come off the gas, at the same time you're going on the brakes. During the race, to save fuel, you'll be full gas all the way down the straight, and there'll be a 50-meter sign, 100-meter sign, 150-meter sign. And depending on how much fuel you have to save, you can lift here at the 150, come off the gas, no brake, and the car speed begins to drop. Because the car speed begins to drop, you don't have to brake at the same place as you do on a qualifying lap.
Saving fuel is thus the most effective at the end of a fast straight. If the driver lifts off the gas at 300 kilometers per hour, 50 meters ahead of the normal braking point, that short distance costs 22 thousandths of a second, but also saves about 1 shot glass of fuel. It's repeated at multiple points of the circuit, thus over the whole race saving several liters. It's effective, however, only in moderation. If you coast twice the distance, 100 meters, it's not efficient anymore, for while you save twice as much fuel, it costs you 4 times as much time. And there's another risk.
When you lift and then you coast, you can brake later, and if you brake too late or you brake too early, you lose time or you lock up.
To clarify, perfectly executed in practice by another world champion. It then looks like this. So you approach the corner, of course, flat out as usual, lift off the gas well ahead of the braking point, let the car coast, and then try to find the right point for braking into the corner and taking it as quickly as possible. That's actually the most efficient way to save fuel. The more you let the car coast before the corner, the more fuel you save. Seen over a lap, it naturally makes sense to lift off the gas somewhat earlier, especially at the big braking points after long straights. And here too, practice is everything. But a driver able to master Formula One's lift and coast will never have a problem with fuel levels towards the end of a race.